Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back with another episode of Hobbysides. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with what Hobbyside is a series of videos that we do on this channel showcasing projects that we've worked on for our channel. Things like armies, miniatures, and also, as you can see on this video right now, some terrain pieces. And so what we're doing real quick is doing a real quick showcase real fast of the various terrain that we use in our Shadows over Mordheim Battle Reports. And as always, this terrain is all scratch built, painted, as well as designed by our resident terrain wizard, Iron Major. Now, we actually had Iron Major on a couple of weeks ago on an episode of Hobbyside where we actually went over how he went about making all these terrain pieces for Mordheim. He actually was nice enough to show up as a guest appearance and explain some of the construction techniques that he used to create most of these terrain pieces, as you can see. And as you can see, he did an excellent job building all of these materials. Things like styrofoam, balsa wood, popsicle sticks, coffee stirrers, sand, glue, paint, just real simple stuff. And he ended up working out all these masterpieces as well. And since, of course, we've been having on the quarantine for the past month because of COVID-19, Iron Major, of course, has been staying busy, vigilant, working on various projects. So last time we talked about a Mordheim terrain, we talked about these two buildings back here, as well as our catwalk. We talked about those terrain pieces, and now we're going to talk about some new pieces here. So first of all, we have this really nice triple-decker corner piece here with this really beautifully intricately designed ivy leaf pattern that's on the outside of it. We'll talk about exactly how he went about making that. He's also made these little gangplanks you see here when across it. He's also designed this smaller corner ruin here, right here on the side here. So we're going to talk about that real quick. Same thing with this nice bombed out shelter here, this stone construction building. He's worked on this one as well. He's also made this row house. In fact, if you were to watch that video where Iron Major talked about how he goes about building his Mordheim terrain, you actually saw this building being built out of the spare materials of styrofoam, just a styrofoam frame that he worked on. And so since that time that video has been made, he's of course finished this project. And the last building we're going to take a look at here is also another 3-story structure here. We're going to rotate this building around real quick so you guys can see the fronts. And as you can see, he's made this 3-story structure with a blown-off roof as well. And just like always, we'll go over each and individual piece of terrain that we have in our showcase. We'll talk about exactly how it was designed, how it was built. And we'll go ahead and do that for all these terrain pieces. So that being said, let's get this video on a roll. Alright, so we are back. So as you can see here, we have the 5 new buildings that Iron Major has been building so far for our Mordheim terrain. We'll talk about each of the 5 buildings that he built, as well as these gangplanks that he's also created for our battle reports as well. So first of all, let's go and talk about these gangplanks real quick. So as you can see here, these gangplanks look really, really awesome as well. They're highly detailed. He's gone about and painted them in various colors. He's also dry brushed them and washed them, really cool things. And as you can see here, basically it's what it is. It's just what it appears what it looks like. It's just popsicle sticks mounted on stir sticks as well. The stir sticks represent the framing. All the individual boards just kind of like individually cut up and tore up and glued onto the various formations here. And he's also just kind of like painted it up and dry brushed it, and also given a quick little black wash that he used. Did an excellent job on these gangplanks. One of the cool things about Mordheim is that Mordheim is very much like Necromunda in the sense that the terrain is supposed to be 3-dimensional. So you're fighting a 3-dimensional battle space, which is also really cool as well. Now, with these gangplanks over, let's go and talk about this building here. So this is one of the very first structures we're talking about. It's actually one of his newest ones that he built. It's actually a triple-decker type situation here. As you can see, we have the ground level, followed by the second level, as well as the third level as well. And the cool part is that the roof on this building has also been shot off as well. So you can see that. In fact, he actually, let me go take this real quick off real fast. As you can see, he actually left the roof kind of partially broken off, so that way you could actually take off those pieces if you wanted to and actually put them as debris on the battlefield as well. The same construction technique that he talked about on his on that earlier video, he used exactly the same thing on the outside of this. Sand, glue, cardboard, styrofoam, as well as the white showerboard bases that he has. They made for it. Now here's the back of it real quick. So as you can see, lots of detail on the inside, lots of rubble and things of that nature. It's also exactly the same thing, the second floor story. As you can see, he also did an excellent job with the decking on that, with the popsicle sticks and stuff, and also adding texture to the walls like the plaster. using brown and black washes to paint that up, as well as glue and sand and Mod Podge. We've actually talked about that quite a bit. Also, another nice feature about this as well is that if you want to, you could actually remove the figure of the building off the base. So you can see it did a really good job adding piles of rubble here on the base and surrounding with grass tufts, so some homemade flock on the outside of it. Made it look really, really cool as well. That way we can have guys go inside the buildings and fight on the ground level. At the same time, makes it a little bit easier to store as well. So that's the very first building that he actually created. Let's go and jump over to the second and third buildings real quick. The second and third buildings are actually quite nice as well. These are some smaller structures, as you can see here. Using exactly the same construction technique to build these ones as he did before. So this one's kind of neat because this one actually adds a lot of really nice variety on our battlefield. Instead of having complete houses like this one, for example, you could tell that this was a building at one time that just got blown apart from the meteor shower that destroyed Mordheim. You see some of the scorching pattern that he did there on the decking. It may look like it's really chewed up as well. Adds a lot of variety as well. Especially when we use the buildings from our Warhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, the Terracotta roof buildings. We put these in there and kind of scatter about so that we have some buildings that are normal looking as well as some buildings that are destroyed. In fact, we actually have enough buildings here to make a small town, if not a city, with the amount of terrain that he's actually building. Just a lot of detail on that one. And of course, here's another building that he worked on. This is the row house. Now, if you were a viewer of our channel, you've seen this building being built earlier when we talked about the Mordheim terrain that we used as well. Just love the glass panes there. This was actually, he was showing you guys how to do this on one of his earlier videos about how he was hand carving the stone, look on. He drew it out. He was hand carving it onto the stone. And as you can see here, you did a really excellent job with the interiors. Let me see if I can shine some light in there so that you guys can see a little bit of the interior inside. But yeah, did a really excellent job making the interior as well. It was kind of funny because actually he said he was building this and he realized that he made the structure too nice, so he actually had to cut these giant holes in the back of it so that way we can put figurines inside of it and things, so that way we can put our miniatures in there as well. And just like the previous building, this one is also a removable base. So you can see I did the base there. Add the remover ring on there, and you can put the building right on top of it, make it sit flush. There we go. Just did an absolutely fantastic job with this building as well. Did a really good job on that one. Very, very nice. And of course, the last building they worked on was this one here, and this one is a very unique structure. And the reason why is because on the outside of it, you have this very intricate, beautifully designed ivy pattern that just crawls at the side of the roof as well. He did an amazing job on this one. This one's really nice because there's a lot of greenery on this one, represent that has been overgrown, like these tufts here on the top. He just did an absolutely fantastic job on that one. Now, if you're wondering how he did this, basically what he did is he took different, I believe he would have to have, he took different green sheets of paper is what he ended up doing. And what he did is he cut them out of each of these individual leaves using a leaf cutter that he had that was made by, I believe it's called Green Stuff Plant, I believe the name of the manufacturer is. It's kind of neat. It's just like this little punch tool that you use, and you just punch out on paper, different color papers, the type of leaves that you want, the colors that you want. And then what he did is he just actually just painstakingly glued every single leaf onto the structure as well. So you can see the flocking here to make the vinery going up and the branches of the vines breaking up as well as the leaves. Just absolutely fantastic with that creeping vine look that he did in the building. It just looks really, really cool. Not to mention the structure itself is also very awesome as well. So you can see here it's actually got 3 different levels to it. 1, 2, as well as 3. He actually put some greenery here on the top of it, make it look like it's starting to be overgrown. It just looked really awesome. You could tell that this one time was part of a much larger building that had gotten blown up during the meteor shower that destroyed Mordheim. And the cool thing about this, of course, is that if you add like the gangplanks to this, like if our major wanted to add the gangplanks to this structure, so let's say for example, we want to do these 2 structures here like this, we could easily just put the gangplank that he created, to go between that building as well. It just looks really cool. And that's not exactly what this we're going to be using this design for. We can use this to actually act like a junction, so we can add like another gangplank here, and then make it go to a second roof building on another building. And the reason why we get able to do that is because Iron Major actually built all these buildings to standard, is what he did. So all the measurements between the various floors of the buildings are the same exact measurements, so that way you can do things like that with the gangplank. Now, of course, obviously, if you want to make a little off like this, for example, if you want to have a gangplank that goes from the lower level to the upper level, or if when you build your terrain you don't make your floors the exact same size, that's perfectly fine, because all it does is just adds the ramshackle kind of look to the actual structure. So it looks really, really awesome as well. Especially when you compare, like, you know, he did the aqueducts. Like last time we talked about the aqueducts that he made. We also talked about these two buildings here. We put a little gang walkway between those as well. So it just looks really, really awesome. Just the amount of work and detail that he put into it is absolutely amazing on that one. Alright, you guys, so there you have it. So you can see we got a little bridge right here going between the different buildings to make it look really cool. So that's a good do for this one, you guys. This is just a little quick little update video on our hobby side. Just showing you about some of the progress that has been made so far on our Shadows over Mordheim terrain. It looks really, really awesome. And we can't wait until all this quarantine is over, so that way we can start having more friends back over again. We can start wargaming again and making more battle reports as well. Thank you very much for being patient with the content on our channel. It's just like I don't feel comfortable, you know, having my friends over or actually exposing my friends to undue risk based on what's going on with COVID-19, especially since a lot of their, you know, a lot of them have like either family members or children even that are actually having immune deficiencies or, you know, are at risk, or we're knowing people that could be at risk as well. So thank you once again for being very patient with the material that we're making so far. I know it's been a lot of cheap shots, hobby sides, and army build videos, but like I said before, I just don't feel comfortable violating, you know, stay-at-home orders right now, just because, you know, I don't want to get anybody else sick. You know, it's not just for our own protection, but it's also for the protection of people who are extremely vulnerable to disease. So for those of you guys who are doing your part, staying disciplined, helping out, being kind, you know, being positive, you know, helping each other out, I thank you very much for your guys' participation, helping each other out. It's a really big, nice, and kind of awe-inspiring to see that happen, especially since, you know, there's so much negative things in the world today. But, you know, seeing people kind of band together and help each other out, you know, and, you know, powering through it, it's just really awe-inspiring, you guys. So thank you very much again for your patience on the content we have on this channel so far. But yeah, that's good to do for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you like Iron Major's work, go ahead and type in those comments down below. I always tell Iron Major exactly what people are saying about his work, and he's just kind of like, oh, he's just like really at awe of that stuff. So, you know, drop a little comment down below for him to give him a shout out or two, because the guy does amazing work for our channel, and our channel will not be as successful if it wasn't for the amazing work that he does for our terrain. So please feel free to do that as well. That's good to do for this one, you guys. Go ahead and check us out on Facebook as well as Instagram for all the latest greatest hobby news related to our channel, and we will catch you guys in the next one. You guys stay classy, be safe out there, you guys, flatten the curve. Peace out, you guys. See you in the next one.